We do come in as a consultant saying, these are your different opportunities. And we let people know your best opportunity to get the most amount of money is by taking it to market and exposing it to everyone.
I have a dream.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I could do this all day.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Cinderella story out of nowhere.
It's in the hole. That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Welcome back to Capital Hacking. This is the day. Matt Donnelly is going to be back on the show. Hasn't been here 200 episodes, John.
Amazing. And Matt is such a good friend of both Josh and I, and we were excited to have him on. Listen, he was singing in the beginning of the podcast. He was singing at the end of the podcast, and he sprinkled in so much wisdom of how he went from being a regular college student to developing a landscaping business, taking 20 to 30 lawns and 10Xing that in just a matter of a couple years. And then he talks about how he exits and sells his landscaping business, jumps into real estate, and now owns a franchise with Keller Williams.
What a shot. That's great. You know, that there's a lot to learn and a lot to love about this dude. You're going to see why he's an incredible part of our community and our life. And I think he's going to open, if you're listening to this show and you have any activity in the world of real estate, like maybe you're a real estate agent, he's going to give you the number one key that will change your wealth. He will help you unlock the most important part of every real estate investor's life. And I think you'll pick up on it here. And it basically, the cheaties here, he's created a vertically integrated company and it just keeps paying him back. I love that. Wait till you hear the whole methodology. I think you're going to love this episode.
His energy might be the highest that we've interviewed so far. And if it's not the highest, it's right up there with me and Josh and some other great men we've interviewed. Guys, get ready, buckle up. If you're driving, you better focus on the road because it's going to be a fun ride.
Woo! Welcome back to Capital Hacking. John,
yes,
we did it. We're here. We're live recording.
Welcome to the big show, Matt Donnelly.
And I love how we're filming, guys. For those of you watching, we're using different audio, and everything's better today. I'm hoping the audio is better for those lovely guests listening in the car.
The energy's high, baby.
It is. Well, that's because Matt Donnelly's here. So, Matt Donnelly, welcome back to the big show.
Oh, thank you very much, Josh. It's a pleasure to be back on the big show.
And, you know, for camera, we'll have to look at this. Okay, so listen, we've got to set the stage. We were backstage. We're here at the beautiful Renault Winery, Matt Donnelly's favorite winery.
Favorite winery. Try to come here as often as possible.
He does, actually. That is not a joke. The dude brings his family here, his friends. He's a gift to us at the, and you know Kevin real well now. Yeah, we're the name.
I got name tag and now officially the CEO.
Oh, I love
And that's the new CEO of Renault.
Never mind.
Guys, let's set the table, John. I'm so glad you brought Matt in today.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and we appreciate your energy and we appreciate in advance all the knowledge you're going to drop on us and our listeners.
Love it.
So with that said, Matt, why don't you give us just a brief recap of your life, both personally and business, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. I am a 41-year-old Irish Catholic.
Yes, he is.
Born and raised in Northeast Philadelphia.
Lawndale.
1 of 5. 3 sisters and a brother. I now have 2 fine Irish children. Mickey, who is 8. Riley, who is 7. A beautiful wife who we've married for 10 years. They're not French. They are Irish.
Well, but you're making a lot of Irish comments, so later we are going to get you to sing.
Okay, that's fine. I only know one song. I'll sing that one.
No, it is. This is not a song podcast, so that's okay. 1 is the quota.
Good. Perfect. Yep. Married for 10 years to Kristen. Got an awesome real estate sales business where I'm very fortunate to have John's wife, and she is a partner in our business, and she's been with us for over 5 years, and that's how I got to meet John.
Oh, is that how you guys all met?
I met at GoBundance and FanBundance, I think, just prior to her joining your team.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I think, yeah.
Well, listen, we're fortunate.
I never met you until Christine joined the team. Then you were in the office. You guys just bought something. You just bought a property, one of your many properties now. And you came in and you said, do you have any Jameson? Or just bought a property, like do a shot.
Yeah, I did from that.
He racially profiled you at a Jameson drink?
So, you know, I didn't say no at 11 a.m. to a shot of Jameson with John.
I'm Irish when I drink.
Oh, no, but you've been on the big show here before, so we'll have to get that.
Episode
What is this?
82.
82?
Episode 82.
Oh, he's in the first century.
Damn,
That
son.
means he's a classic.
That's right.
That's a classic. Like if it was Seinfeld, that would be one of the early times.
Yeah, right.
So
When Kramer was
hilarious.
hilarious.
It was so good.
Loved him.
Just saw a picture of him as a turkey the other day, flapping his wings, and he was a turkey. How about the best Kramer thing, since you brought him up, and I'm glad you told us we should go down this tangent, was the coffee table book about
coffee
table books that folded into a coffee cube. That is awesome.
Amazing.
Anyway, wish we had that show. Somebody come on the show in the future and do the entire monologue of that. Matt, I think we cut you off a little bit. You have a great family. You brought up Irish a lot.
Yes.
At some point, what is the one song you're going to sing for us here live today?
I mean, I can do the song that I always sang to my daughter, which is, when Irish eyes are smiling, short is like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing.
That's pretty good, buddy.
Really good.
You know, and with the new mics and the quality, I'm sure everybody's just crying. There's like a little tear in most people's. They're driving to work, okay? I don't want them to cry all the way.
So I'm going to jump in. Matt, we've gotten to know each other really well over the last 6 years. I am so honored and fortunate to be your friend. And thank you for the gift of friendship that you...
One of my best friends.
I love it.
And
my
trainer.
brother. My brother. And your trainer. That's true. But I know some of your backstory, which I absolutely love. And some of that entails you being a bartender at the greatest Irish pub in Philadelphia, Billy Murphy's. There's a shout out and a plug where my wife and I have frequented for over 20 years. So you definitely bartended for us. But also you owned a landscaping business that was very lucrative while you were in college, I believe at LaSalle. So why don't you give us a little kind of peek into your landscaping business, your bartending, and how you bridged into real estate?
Awesome. Yeah. So I was working probably 3 jobs in high school, came from a middle class family. We all kind of chip in. I actually helped, I actually paid for my own tuition and helped pay for my sister's tuition senior year of high school. So I was working as a landscaper, and coming into freshman year of college, I just decided I was going to take what was a very big risk at that time. It's probably a loan for like $2,000. And I bought all my own landscaping stuff. And I said, I'm going to do this on my own. And I probably bought about 15 or 20 lawns off somebody else. And I started that freshman year of college. By the time I graduated 4 years later, I had like 300 clients.
Wow.
I graduated in 4 years with a degree in IT. I don't know shit about computers. I don't know how I graduated, but regardless, I really didn't need a degree. I haven't used my degree. Great experience out LaSalle, though. I made a lot of money from representing people who graduated that I met when they bought and sold real estate. But anyway, so I graduated college. I got the landscaping business going. I'm now bartending as well because you can't do much landscaping in the wintertime. My one buddy got his real estate license, made like 30 grand off of one deal. His uncle bought something for $1 million and he was like, Donnelly, you need to get your real estate license. I was like, yeah, sure, man. I'll got nothing else to do. So I got my real estate. So at one point in time, I had the landscaping company. I had the real estate license. I was starting to dabble in that and I was bartending. And then it just got to the point where I wasn't getting enough real estate business that I wanted because people either saw me as a bartender or a landscaper, not as a realtor.
Yeah.
So then I made that, which was a very tough jump. I was like, sold the business, stopped bartending, and it was not a good market. This was 2009, going into 2010 when I decided to do this. And then the rest is history.
So, but you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. You weren't married yet, right?
No.
You had a little bit of free.
Yep.
You could take a big risk. And you sold it. This is always curious. Who'd you sell your business to?
3 different landscapers. They bought in different areas. Yeah. And essentially it's like, whatever the price of your lawn was, it was 3 times that price.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it cost you $50 to cut your lawn, I would sell you one for $150.
Was that an eye-opener to you back then?
It was, because a lot of people wouldn't even consider selling it. Yeah. I was like, how can I at least, get some money out of this?
I love that.
Yeah.
So you just came up with it on your own? Or did someone tell you to?
No, I did a little research. Yeah.
Well, see, even that, I wouldn't have researched it. I think that's really great because a lot of people just shut down small businesses when they're not doing great. But you probably people could actually maybe sell off portions of it, get something, and then stop doing that job. Anyway.
So you sold your landscaping business, which was incredibly intelligent that you didn't just walk away from it. So kudos to you. You definitely had entrepreneurial spirit. Then you went into becoming a full-time realtor, which I'm sure you were very successful at. And I want you to talk about a little bit of that. And then talk about how you stepped into owning now a franchise for Keller Williams. Can you walk us through?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sure. A lot of it slow and slow, long and slow, long and slow, long and slow.
Wait, what's that saying? Like slow is fast and fast is slow?
Yeah.
No. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
There it is.
Ooh, I like that.
It's kind of what you're saying, though.
Right.
Keep going. So you didn't jump right into ownership.
No, absolutely. So Mike Soroka, who's my partner now, but he had a partner, Jeremy Bowers. So they had their own team, and I joined them as a buyer's agent on their team. And I worked for 1 year. I did very well. I had an awesome relationship with them. But obviously, already had a whole, I'm an entrepreneur, right? And I was like, all right, I'm going to go do my own thing now. I'm going to go ahead and start my own business. So I did that. Mike and Jeremy ended up getting a manager job. So he broke off with Mike. He wanted more time home with his kids type deal. Then I started growing my business. Mike continued to run his team. And when every day we're the first people at the office, it's 9 o'clock at night, we're the last people at the office. It's late at 9 o'clock on probably like a Sunday or Monday night. Soroka walks in my office. Like, yo, what's up, bud? He's like, dude, let's just combine teams. Let's share some resources and combine teams. He's like, we're both cut of the same ilk. We work hard. Let's do it. And I already worked with him before, so I knew it was a pretty good match. So, we combined our teams
How
then.
did you guys break up your talent? Like, what was your each talent that you brought to the team?
Mike is good with the operational stuff. Obviously he's also a really good sales agent, has strong listing skills. I was always good, just kind of go. He's a lot slower to get things done, where I'm like, pop, get stuff done. More of a driving force with kind of taking action. And Mike is more analytical. So if I try to run into something right away, it helps slow me down sometimes, which is needed.
And now what does it look like?
I don't think my marriage can.
So now it looks like we have the real estate sales team, which is a Home Experts For You team, homeexpertsforyou.com. We represent typically about 200 clients a year selling real estate, buying real estate. We also bought a property management company, which is a separate entity.
For houses, or what do you want to manage?
So we manage a single family, multifamily, and some commercial.
Do you really?
All local. So we're super hyper localized, especially with the property management, because it kind of sucks having a property management company. But it provides a lot of good opportunities for a real estate sales team to turn tenants into buyers, or landlords want to sell. Oftentimes, me and Mike get an opportunity to purchase them. And if we don't want to purchase them, we can represent them and sell it to someone else. So it brings in more opportunities for the sales team and for us to grow our portfolio.
Yeah, and we'll let you finish the story, but I want to really come back to like one example of that, because I think that's really interesting. That's something I need to think about. And maybe, can we jump into it now?
Yeah.
So let's jump into that. You just said it's very hard. You said you don't like doing property management.
It's just it's a tough gig.
All right. So break down to me how that actually helps. You said, well, it helps me get leads. Has that actually happened? And how do you turn management into leads? Let's use one house, and then let's use one commercial story.
Okay.
You want to tell us a story?
Sure. So we bought a few properties where we had a landlord who decided that they don't want to be a landlord anymore, even though they hired us to be the property manager. They want to get rid of the property. So we come in as a consultant. Obviously, here are your different options. One of the options is we have an investment group that will purchase the property for X amount of money. Option number 2 is we take it to market.
So if I understand you, forgive me, I just think this is genius. So you're saying you put up what is it called, your property management company?
And property services.
So it's different than your home
experts do, correct.
That helps. So do you actually solicit regular landlords and say, we'll manage for you?
Correct. Hyper localized, we do, yes.
And management strategy.
Yep.
So they're thinking of you, no threat, no anxiety. You're just a property manager. You're not trying to buy it or sell my property.
Yeah, oftentimes they don't even look at us as, or know that we have a real estate sales team. And yeah,
What a soft way to get in off-market deals.
it is. Yeah. We definitely get off market deals because of it.
I love that.
It's so easy. It's so easy because you're already managing the property. So it's just a warm.
We do come in as a consultant saying, these are your different opportunities. And we let people know your best opportunity to get the most amount of money is by taking it to market and exposing it to everyone. Oftentimes people are like, I don't want to deal with the process of making my house or the triplex, whatever, put money into it to take it to market and do that. And they're okay with the price that we offer, which is always a very fair price.
Okay, so how many times have you done a transaction like that? That kind of off-market deal through your property management?
I would say at least 5 or 6.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Over the course of how many years?
This is our 5th year with it. And it's our first year where we actually made profit, took money out of it.
Do you buy the building? Have all 5 been purchases?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Our game plan is buy and hold. Yeah.
So what is your business plan? What is your business plan for asset collection like that?
Yeah. So right now it's mainly single family and some multifamily. We do property manage some big commercial buildings that are in our little area. So, the landlords know that we definitely want the opportunity to purchase those. And yeah, that could take another 5 or 10 years, but eventually we'll have a very nice portfolio where we live at, which is awesome.
Which is west of Philadelphia in the city of Conshohocken area.
Yes, Conshohocken.
Conshohocken, which is a great part of if you're not familiar, it's really very close to Philadelphia, but it's unbelievably nice.
Yeah, 15 minutes away from Philly.
So it's very interesting to me what your focus is on, because I'm the type investor where I'll buy anywhere, like literally I buy in Philadelphia, outside Philadelphia, in Scranton and beyond. Like we will just buy anywhere that makes sense. But I love your strategy of staying, as you're saying, hyper localized, which I haven't heard somebody use that term before. Localized is one thing, hyper localized. So if you're listening and you're outside of the Philadelphia area, Conshohocken is a very, very small borough in Montgomery County Township, or not township, but Montgomery County. And I've always admired Matt for his hyper focus in that area because it's growing very rapidly. And Josh, I know you will invest anywhere. So Matt, on that statement, would you be open to buying other places, or are you just literally going to stay hyper-focused?
So I invested in places like Renault, which is awesome. That's completely passive, hands off, and I would certainly be open for opportunities like that. But for stuff that we're going to buy and manage the closest possible, it makes it as easy as possible, and it just really fits with kind of all things real estate that we touch.
I love that.
Yeah. And then, you had mentioned when you were an agent, because it's interesting in a great market, people have an idea that realtors, it's just easy. They're just literally printing money. By the way, in a good market, that's not even the case, because my wife's an agent and I know better.
But I've seen you work, Matt, and you do have that work ethic where you'll literally be up and out at 5 o'clock in the morning doing things that most people won't, like Josh and I as well. How did you get that work ethic, that mindset? Let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah, I think one thing, I'm wired that way. So it's easier for someone like me to do those things as opposed to someone who's not wired that way, right? We're all naturally hyperactive people. Growing up in a family that didn't have a ton of money, my dad was a truck driver for John Wanamaker's back in the day.
Love Wanamaker.
Yeah, driving the 18-wheeler. My mom stayed home at that point in time, was a homemaker. My dad got injured. He pulled out his back, got his back operated on. So then my mom went to college, got her degree, ended up working for the city, which she just retired from after 25 years. Yeah, so we just, if you wanted something, the answer was no, unless you could pay for it yourself. So Frusco Steaks, which you guys used to go to, a little cheesesteak spot in Philly. In 8th grade, they hired me to dress up as Gumby.
And I Gumby on the street.
Gumby on the street.
Rising Sun Avenue.
Own a Frusco Steak sign, trying to get people in the door.
It's the best. Well, I didn't know Matt then, but Christine and I were teenagers and we frequented the place, and they had pictures on the wall. We were on the wall. I didn't know Matt worked there. His name was Gumby.
This just happened that you guys have all crisscrossed paths again. Not even the same areas.
Right.
Not necessarily.
Different neighborhoods.
And then GoBundance is a third crisscross, but it's not actually connected to this?
Probably maybe fourth, right? Because it was
Frusco's,
Billy Murphy's, KW,
GoBundance, yeah.
and KW as well, or no, Christine. Yeah.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then actually in high school, so besides having the 3 jobs, as I worked at Frusco Steaks, most of my friends didn't have any money. My brother, I'd give him money. He'd go buy a keg of beer, and I would run kegs back to tracks, and then my buddy would run it, and we'd split the profits.
Well, where would you run it to again?
Back the railroad tracks.
Oh. Yeah. You're out. You have a keg party.
a cop. I would put everything up. My brother would pay. My brother would go get it, and then I'd split it 50-50 with my buddy, and then they would come to Frusco's, get cheesesteaks, and have a keg party to hand cash.
We just love that, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
What a great town. I love that story. That's the first time on the show.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about Paperboy and a lot of landscape stores.
Yeah.
No keg party.
Oh, yeah.
Illegal bridge. What do you call them? Down at the train track?
Down the tracks. Yeah.
The tracks.
Kegger back the tracks.
Kegger back at the tracks. How many times would you have done that?
Oh, I mean, probably 100. Like, it was every Friday, Saturday.
Amazing. So Matt, we've heard your story and where you've been and where you are now. What is the next thing for you? Where are you looking? What's your vision? We're right on the cusp of 2023. Tell us about where your mind is at.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's always all things real estate is kind of where my focus is and where I'll continue to stay. So for the real estate sales team, it's do more transactions. The property management team. It's bringing more local clients that we can property manage. For the real estate portfolio, it's, buying more properties, getting more opportunities and buying more properties and adding to that. And we're, now we're actually seeing decent cash flow. You don't see that right away. It takes a little bit of time. So finally we're seeing decent cash flow from the properties that we already own, from the rents that are coming in. Like I said, for the first time this year, we finally just took out money from the property management company, which we used to buy a triplex, which we're currently renovating right now to hold on to. So it's good that you're finally seeing the work that you put in, pay off.
I want to ask you a couple questions about, so we've glossed over this, but it's actually pretty unique that people find a business partnership, and it seems kind of natural for you and Mike.
It is, and it's very tough. A lot of people try to accomplish it.
Work.
It doesn't normally work.
What year would it have been? How many years?
2014 is when we joined forces. Yeah.
And let's talk about the very beginning. How formal was that partnership? And when did it start to get formal? Mm-hmm. And what does it look like today? How do you guys cut assets and make?
Yeah, I would say originally it was more dating. We were sharing resources. He'd make money off his deals. I'd make money off my deals, and we would share money off of the deals that the real estate agents make. And then probably it only took a year where we went straight 50-50 with everything. So it didn't matter. He could sell 30 houses and I could sell 25, and it doesn't matter. We're not.
And did you do it through an LLC company or just?
Yeah. So we each have our own LLCs that we get paid our commissions to. We have an LLC that we each put money into each month that pays all the real estate expenses. We have another LLC for the property management company. We have an LLC for the real estate owned companies. We have LLCs for other investments.
But they're all 50-50.
All 50-50.
See, well, we got to dig into this because I've never heard anything so smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, normally it doesn't go well after a few years. Not because anybody's a bad person.
No, yeah, there's certainly things
working.
Yeah,
changes their attitude.
No, yeah. So he has different ideas, and I have different ideas that we've been doing, and just at the end of the day, it's if I can see he's really passionate and he wants to do it, it's all right, whatever, go do it. And the same thing, if he sees I really want to do it, even though he's against it, he'll be all right, good. It's all good.
Hi, this is Melanie McCallan. Josh and I are just so grateful for the many investors who already joined us at Accountable Equity. Accountable Equity is so much more than a capital group. It's really a community of accredited investors that want to learn and grow together. I just want to personally invite you, if you want to find out more about this type of investment and see if it's right for you and your family, please visit us at accountableequity.com.
You guys actually own, would you say, how many properties you own together as that group?
So we own 16 properties total.
Wow, 50-50.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, I love you. What would happen if Mike's I don't like being in this partnership anymore? What would you guys do?
Go through the process of divorce, which probably sucks.
No, it's great that it's working out for you guys. And then you mentioned a comment or two, and I think it's interesting for those out there who are either in business or starting a business. You said we finally pulled some money out of the management company,
right? And
then we bought a building with it. Talk to me about, did you have to put money into the management?
Bought it from an estate. So the person that passed away was actually Mike's mentor. Awesome friend of ours, Gary DeMedio. Rest in peace. He wanted to sell it to me and Mike. We literally went golfing with him 3 days before he had a heart attack and passed away. Yeah, it sucked. So we bought it through the estate. It was a mom and pop shop, handshake deals, no contracts or nothing. And we never owned a property management company, so it's completely different than running a real estate sales team. So you have that whole process of figuring out, making it a legit business. So it took a while to make money. Yeah, you just put money in.
Yeah, so I was talking earlier about the economy and when it's great, everybody thinks that realtors are just printing money and all of that. But what's beautiful about a downturn is it takes all the imposters out of the game, which is beautiful. And it boils it down to, the ones who are really successful in the business. And people are running and thinking that right now in the economy, it's so bad because rates are at, I think, around 7%, where they were at 3%, which was unheard of. And when I bought my first property, Christine and I were 22 years old. And that's when we bought our first property. And it was over 7%. And that was normal then. So I want our listeners to understand that we're kind of in a normal place with rates at this time. Let's talk a little bit about the economy. So Matt, what's your mindset with the economy, and how are you talking to your clients to kind of calm them down and just take a piece of reality, right? Because people aren't paying $50,000 to $70,000 over asking price anymore.
No, we're actually very excited for a change because everybody wants balance, some form of balance, and it was so out of whack that there was no balance. So as a really as the normal person thinking, oh my God, these real estate agents are making a killing. Think about all those buyers, there was such limited supply, right? Like no inventory. We had multiple people on the team work with buyers. They wrote up 20 some offers, 20 different houses. As soon as the property came up on the market, you got to rearrange your schedule next day. You got to get in there. You got to get your buyer to, these are the terms that we think that you need to do in order to get under contract. And they would do it and they would lose out and they would lose out and they would lose out. You don't ever get paid unless you actually go to settlement, right? So we have multiple clients that we had agents put in hundreds of hours with and never got paid anything. So it's like, you don't want that total lack of balance. So now that it's going more towards, and it's still a seller's market. It was an amazing seller's market. An amazing seller's market is still, 3 months of inventory is an amazing seller's market. It was 7 days before.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So give us an example of what was it like? Yeah, what was it like? Did you guys have to overbid?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We had a scenario where someone offered, they overbid, they waived all the inspections, and they also offered to give them the Phillies season tickets.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like outside the box type shit.
Did anybody offer like their kid?
Yeah, we had a couple kids. That was easy. Josh used to have 15. Now he only has 10. He bought a lot of properties.
That's not a true statement. But let's go with your agents a lot. It sounds like you guys do a good job of attracting buyers. So you're a buyer's agent shop? No. Yeah, you have a lot of...
No, yeah, we actually are more seller heavy than buyer heavy for sure. We represent sellers and buyers, but you want to get listing heavy because you get buyers from listings.
Yeah, would you say that you're in a unique spot that you see real estate agency and selling as a way? It really feels like you're balanced. You have management and you have buying and owning. That is not normal, right? Like if we took 10 real estate agents, how many would be doing a multi-step portfolio like that?
Yeah, maybe 1 out of 10. Every real estate agent should own real estate, and the majority of them probably don't. But if I'm a client, I would want someone that owns real estate and understands it.
And what would you credit the fact that you guys, you and Mike, or was it you or was it Mike, that decided to really methodically build this multi-pronged company instead of just being world-class sales guys? I
just think it was kind of a process that happened. We both wanted to own real estate, so we started doing that. We had the property management where, unfortunately Gary passed away, but, he wanted us to buy it. So, that was, we didn't want to necessarily definitely buy it because it's a whole business that we didn't know how to do, and we had to create the systems and everything else.
People-wise, how many staff?
It was just Gary and an assistant.
Okay, so you basically picked it up. Yeah. And are you doing commercial deals? And I wanted to ask if you could do a case study on a commercial deal too, that you might be managing that you're hoping to buy.
Yeah, so the building that we're in now.
Your office?
My office, yeah. Yeah, so it's typical for any real estate agent or real estate team. They work out of the brokerage. We rent our own space that we operate our team out of. So we have our own space specifically. There's a bank on the first floor. We're on the second floor. So that's certainly a building that we want to be able to purchase and buy. There's a couple bank buildings actually.
So the majority of our audience are investors, Matt, and as there are market changes and uncertainty, we have to pivot and we have to step back and we have to figure out what we think, right? We can only forecast where things are going. So going into 2023 as an investor, I love that you're an investor as well. What is your forecast for this year? What are some of the suggestions you would give to somebody who is an investor? Can you just walk us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely going to be more opportunities now than they were before because not as many people are buying with the rates up. The cap rates are going to go up because the interest rates are higher, but that'll leave more opportunities for the true investors out there where they weren't really getting them before. It's very tough to pick up real estate in the past 2 years.
And back to John's question, you're not going to leave the Conshohocken area.
No, I mean, that's where I live at. That's where our office is. Yeah, but I would say we're certainly expand the area that we buy in. If you look at kind of the school district, that's more of a broader area where we would want to own as much as possible in the school district.
It's exciting, buddy. It's great. And, if people want to reach out to you after this because they love you and they loved your singing, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah. If you go right on our website, which is www.homeexpertsforyou.com, about us, you click on Matt Donnelly, you can send me an email right there. My phone number's on there. If you want to sell some real estate, want to sell me your real estate, give me a holler.
So let's do one last song. I know it very well because I know our audience is going to love it. How about you give us the Donnelly song? We'll close you out.
All right, I can do the Donnelly song. D-O-double-N-E. Double L-Y spells Donnelly. Donnelly. Proud of all the Irish that's within me.
Within me.
Devil a man who says a word again me.
Again me.
Why?
Spells.
Donnelly.
It's a name, not a shame. Never has been connected with Donnelly. That's me.
That's me.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Damn straight. We just got
Yeah, buddy.
We got to the end of another great show. And everyone listening right now, you're the family and friends. Thanks for staying till the end.
That was so fun. And hey, hit the like, hit subscribe. We're here to serve you guys. That's why we're doing this show. Josh is not paying me. I'm doing this off of my quote unquote sweat equity because we want to make a difference in your life. And then that ripple effect will continue to touch the world.
Hey, amen, brother. Please check us out on capitalhacking.com, all the social media threads. And yes, I know you've probably already sent this episode to one of your best friends. Thank you. We love you. Just go right into your iPhone, hit the plus symbol. We'll talk to you later. See you next week.
Share.